For decades, massive music corporations held complete control over who became a star and who disappeared into obscurity. They decided which songs got played on the radio, whose face was plastered across billboards, and who deserved a shot at the big stage. If an artist refused to play by their rules, their career was quietly derailed before it ever truly began. But that entire billion-dollar system was suddenly thrown into chaos by a teenager from a small town in England. Without a giant marketing machine, without media-driven scandals, and without signing away her creative freedom, she managed to hack the system, bypass the gatekeepers, and build an international audience that leaves mainstream pop stars completely shocked. It all started back in 2018 when millions of viewers tuned in to watch The Voice Kids UK. A 14-year-old girl named Lucy Thomas stepped onto the stage under the blinding studio lights with an unusual sense of calm. The moment she sang her first note, the entire room went dead silent. Her voice wasn't just clear, it had an emotional depth that felt far too mature for her age. But behind the glamorous curtain of televised talent competitions lies a much darker reality. These shows are rarely designed to build long-term artistic careers. Instead, they are built to exploit dramatic moments for the highest possible ratings. Young contestants are frequently bound by strict legal contracts that limit their musical freedom, only to be dropped the moment the broadcast season ends. When she was eliminated before the final round, many industry insiders assumed her career was over before it had even started. But what looked like a heartbreaking loss on national television was actually the spark for one of the maneuvers in modern music history. After stepping off the TV stage, the pressure from industry executives started almost immediately. Doors to high-level producer offices swung open, but the offers on the table came with heavy strings attached. Behind-the-scenes rumors suggested that major label bosses wanted to completely overhaul her image. They wanted to reshape her vocal style to fit generic radio trends, force her to sing songs that didn't align with her values, and subject her to exhausting promotional schedules. In this industry, saying no to a major label is usually seen as career sabotage. Yet, instead of selling her identity for a shot at instant fame, she made a daring choice. Alongside her family, she chose to cut ties with the mainstream machine and partner with Cavendish Records, a small independent label that granted her absolute artistic control. Deciding to walk alone without a corporate safety net was viewed by many as a massive gamble. But what happened next left legacy media executives completely speechless. While corporate bosses were still throwing millions of dollars at radio bribes and traditional ad space, a completely different strategy was unfolding quietly in the digital space. She and her team began producing cinematic music videos with immaculate audio quality, uploading them directly to the internet. There were no staged publicity stunts, no forced marketing campaigns, just an absolute commitment to vocal purity and grand classical crossover arrangements. When her rendition of Hallelujah was released, the audience reaction was instant and overwhelming. Without receiving a single spin on mainstream radio, the video began pulling in millions of views within days. The platform's algorithm picked up on the intense viewer engagement and started recommending her videos to music lovers all across the globe. It was clear proof that audiences were starving for real talent rather than manufactured commercial products. But this incredible organic success sparked a brand new wave of panic behind closed executive doors. As her view counts shattered records, reaching tens and eventually hundreds of millions, speculation and controversy began circulating within the industry. Traditional critics, accustomed to old-school marketing playbooks, couldn't wrap their heads around how an independent artist operating out of Lancashire was outperforming multi-million-dollar pop stars. Unfounded rumors began to spread. Some claimed her studio vocals were heavily manipulated, while others speculated that digital data was being inflated to fake her online reach. At the same time, stories about grueling studio hours and an isolated work ethic started to surface, illustrating the intense pressure involved in maintaining such an impossible standard of perfection. Attempts to discredit her rise came from every angle. But rather than getting dragged into public feuds or media drama, her response was cold, calculated, and devastatingly effective. She answered every single critic by releasing new music at a relentless pace. Every album dropped was not only flawless in its production, but it also expanded her reach deeper into international territories. Her audience grew organically without needing trashy tabloid headlines or cheap tricks. This phenomenon proved something terrifying for legacy record labels. The music market had changed forever. Listeners no longer needed corporate radio hosts or TV executives to tell them what was worth listening to. They could find it themselves, and when they connected with a real artist, they supported them directly. Yet, despite her overwhelming digital dominance, one final fortress of the old music elite remained unconquered: the elite world of live. Many traditional insiders were deeply skeptical of internet talent, believing that online popularity could never translate into the stamina required for live stage productions. But those doubts vanished overnight when Lucy Thomas was cast in the lead role for the musical. Without a formal degree from a prestigious acting academy, she stepped straight onto London's historic West End stage. Performing live in front of sold-out crowds accompanied by a massive 30-piece orchestra, she delivered a performance that silenced her harsher critics instantly. Tickets sold out at incredible speeds, and veteran reviewers flipped from skeptical to overflowing with praise. This move proved once and for all that she wasn't just a temporary internet trend, but a world-class vocalist and theatrical performer built to last. Conquering the West End furthered her reputation as an independent global powerhouse. Today, her total video plays have climbed into the hundreds of millions, backed by a deeply loyal spanning across North America, Europe, and Asia. What makes this journey so remarkable is that every milestone was achieved without surrendering her freedom to traditional media conglomerates. She never had to sell her music rights, compromise her character for shallow market trends, or hand over her earnings to corporate suits and suits. Her rise has created a brand new blueprint for independent creators who want to break free from broken, exploitative industry models. Her story isn't just about a talented singer hitting it big. It's a quiet revolution that reshaped how power works in the entertainment world. She proved that the ancient gatekeepers no longer hold the keys to a successful career, and that genuine talent paired with direct fan connection will beat corporate money every single time. When a young artist can take down a billion-dollar industry model from a small independent studio, it leaves corporate music executives asking one terrified question: if the old way is dead, how much longer can traditional media companies even survive?